Hi, this is a quick proof of concept showing how it is possible, or one way it is possible, to manage static HTML content in Vim using a combination of site placeholders, folders, content types, and basic configuration with a preview and a stage, and of course an instance of Apache to render the microsite code. So what I've done is I've created a simple placeholder site with a placeholder preview. So I've created a site called MicroSite, and in that site I can manage this with individual channels for each microsite, or I can use the site individual sites to manage MicroSite. So if we look at this, I've got a lot of code added in here already. This code is coming from folders. So I've created a folder structure called Aaronval microsites, and in that I've got an NK directory to hold the individual assets to support a specific microsite, NK in this case. And I've also got a file scan running that's listening to a directory. So here I have a file scan running on htdocs on a preview instance of Apache that's taking and versioning any content that's been dropped into this repository. So this could be the doc root for Photoshop or Dreamweaver or whatever tool the Aaronval are using to edit content for the microsites, for the newsletters and ads that they're creating. So this is being listened to by an instance of Apache. So I've also created in shortcuts two shortcuts that allow me to look at the preview content. So when the user drops those in, they're able to immediately see the content, make sure it looks okay. Once they're happy with that, then they'll go to their Sites tab, and then they'll click on that site that they are managing, and then they'll publish that from the Site button in this case. So I'll go ahead and approve the site, and then I'll publish the site. And there's an ancestor item or a child item here that needs to be approved. It's a piece of HTML that was just added. So I'll go ahead and approve that, and then I'll publish. And once it's published, we go through the standard publishing mechanism. I'm publishing to a stage. The stage is configured here. I'm using the production stage, which is configured here. You'll need a database to support that. But once I'm happy with that, or verified that the site is published, now you can look at the site properties to see if it's published. You can look at publishing status, of course, by looking at site properties and seeing if it was published or not. In this case, we see the site is published. Now to really verify that, I'm going to go to my shortcuts, and I'm going to look at my live site to see if it really did publish. And I'm going to click around and make sure all the pages work. And they seem to work, so everything seems fine. It published to the stage. This stage is associated with a static doc root on another host, in this case the production host, that is receiving the published content. So the demo should be pretty straightforward. You'll just create a stage. You will need a few things. You'll need if you don't already have a stage, you should probably create a new stage because this is going to be very unique. So I'll create a new table space, and then I will create a schema owner for that table space. And then I'm going to go into config console and create a stage for microsites. But I also need to set up an instance of Apache. So I'm going to create an instance of Apache. I'm going to give it two listen addresses. I'm going to listen on port 80 and port 9090. Then I'm going to create a virtual host to support a different doc root on port 9090. So I've set up a typical virtual host there. There's my doc root that I'm listening to. I also set up some permissions on that directory. That's important so that we can have access to that from Apache. Then I'll restart Apache and then test. So the result is the ability to simply create content right inside these folders or in the doc root itself, approve and publish, but also maintaining all the functionality available in Vim. In other words, workflow approvals, publishing workflows, versioning, checking in, checking out, shortcuts, quick actions, working with the folders, working with roles and users. So there's a nice advantage here when within probably 80% of the functionality available in Vim is available also on these static instances.